Jacob Fatu could be the deciding factor in the Bloodline Civil War, and I'm going to explain why. Welcome to Allison Analysis. I'm Ben Allison, and I've analysed last night's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, and here are my 5 key findings. In at number 5, WWE need to do a best of 7 series between Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. The two absolutely killed it again on SmackDown last night. I mean, the chemistry that these two men have is just completely off the chart. Seriously, it's a natural one. It's something you cannot teach. And to be honest with you, it's probably the best thing either man have done since Andrade returned and Carmelo's been called up to the main roster. And the fact that even after Carmelo got the win, the two brawled afterwards, well, it does make me think we could be heading towards a best of 7 series, and I'm all for that. Of course, as we know, Andrade won the first 2 matches. Now Carmelo's got 1 win back, so we potentially could see another 4 matches between these guys on Friday Night SmackDown, and I'd absolutely love that. If I'm correct, I don't think we've seen a best of 7 series in WWE since I think Cesaro and Sheamus, and those 2 men, well, they had a great series, so I'd love to see it again. In at number 4, Tiffany Stratton is all about Tiffy. The celebration that Tiffany Stratton threw for Nia Jax last night was absolutely perfect if it was for Tiffany Stratton. She made a championship celebration which she would have wanted and not one which Nia would have wanted. And without sounding like an English poetry teacher, this is clearly foreshadowing Tiffany Stratton turning on Nia Jax. Why? Well, because Tiffany Stratton is all about Tiffy. She's the center of her own universe and she doesn't care about anyone else. She didn't care what Nia Jax likes. She just cared about herself. And she just cares about being close to that championship while she has that Money in the Bank briefcase. And one really notable thing here was that when Nia Jax got a briefcase with Tiffany Stratton, when she designed that briefcase, she designed it in the style which Tiffany Stratton liked. Whereas obviously Tiffy did not do the same for Nia Jax. And then of course, in that segment, Tiffany wouldn't bow to Nia Jax. She said, "Oh, we'll bow after Pretty Deadly had performed." And I think she knew somebody was going to come out during it. Talking about Pretty Deadly, they were absolutely hilarious last night. Yes, boys, my boys, the boys, Pretty Deadly. I know I'm their biggest supporter in the world, but seriously, they are so entertaining, and last night they killed it again. Any chance you give these guys, anything you give them, they'll just do so well with, and they seriously deserve a push. They seriously deserve just to be tag team champions in the next 12 to 18 months. Not even then, in the next 6 to 12 months. I think because of the Bloodline, it's going to be difficult to do it probably before the draft, but as soon as you do the draft, put them on the other brand and have them win the tag belts. In at number 3, can the Bloodline take the smoke? DIY and Street Profits had an absolute banger last night on SmackDown to see who would become the number 1 contenders for the Tag Team Championships, and of course, the Street Profits were victorious. It's been far too long since the Street Profits have been a real threat in the tag team division in WWE, and I've missed it, but I cannot wait to see this match. And honestly, this mini tag team tournament which they've been doing, it really established Street Profits as a top tag team once again. A great job to WWE. So now the question is, are the Bloodline ready for the smoke? Well, considering Jacob Fatu's now back, I think they are. As much as I'd absolutely love to see the Street Profits as tag team champions once again, I hope it happens down the line, I can't see them being the ones to defeat the Bloodline, especially this early into it. I don't think anybody is beating Jacob Fatu anytime soon. I also wonder if we're going to see a heel turn by DIY soon, and then potentially see a continuation of this feud between DIY and the Street Profits, because obviously I don't think either one of those teams is beating the Bloodline, but I'd still love to see them do something on SmackDown. In at number 2, Kevin Owens is beginning to have an appetite for gold. We all saw the look that he gave that title when he picked it up to hand to Cody last night. I think the old KO is coming back. He hasn't held a WWE World title since early 2017. That's over 7 years ago now. So he must be absolutely starving for gold. And I think holding that belt last night, it might have done just that. I realistically can't see a multiverse in which Kevin Owens actually beats Cody Rhodes for the belt at Bash in Berlin. But perhaps the hunger in Kevin Owens, which is growing, After that loss, well, it turns real bitter, and perhaps we are going to see a heel turn. Perhaps we are going to see both Randy Orton and Kevin Owens turn heel in the upcoming months. The best thing about Kevin Owens is he's a brilliant babyface and he's a brilliant heel. No matter what he does, he's just brilliant at it. And that's why I think it would be a real shame if the only world title he's won is that Universal Championship in 2016, 2017. Because he deserves to be a multiple-time world champion. And I know he's already bringing up retirement, but I hope he gets at least one, maybe even two more world title reigns before he does hang up those boots. And he's also still quite young too. Like I said a few weeks ago when he brought up the retirement thing, he is very young for that. In at number 1, Jacob Fatu could be the deciding factor in the Bloodline Civil War. Jacob Fatu took out Roman Reigns last night, and how many people can say that? How many people can say that they violently taken out the tribal chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns? He looked like an absolute beast. He looked like a star, and he's looked this way since he's made his debut on SmackDown. Some people were a bit worried that potentially he could overshadow Solo Sikoa on SmackDown, and I don't think they need to worry about that, because I think it's already too late. Jacob Fatu is already clearly the star, and I think he could be the deciding factor in this Bloodline Civil War. But will it be for Solo Sikoa? I predicted months ago that I believe the Bloodline Civil War will end up being The Rock and the Tongans and the Judas Fatu Solo Sikoa against the rest of the Fatus, so Roman Reigns, the Usos, Jacob Fatu, and potentially Zilla Fatu. Now, admittedly, I made this prediction before Jacob Fatu debuted, and then also last night completely took out Roman Reigns. But let's be real, I think this storyline is going to go on for a very long time, so something could happen between now and then that makes Jacob Fatu switch up his alliance. Maybe he won't be happy with The Rock joining the group. Maybe he won't be happy about something Solo Sikoa does. But at the end of the day, I think Jacob could well be working for Roman Reigns once it's all said and done. I'm honestly so excited for this feud, and there's going to be so many twists and turns. I mean, Paul Heyman has been hyping it up as well, and I'm so excited. Do you think Jacob Fatu could potentially switch sides down the road? Let me know in the comments down below. But that's all for today on Allison Analysis. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a thumbs up, like, and subscribe down below. I will be back on Tuesday to talk a little bit of Monday Night Raw. See you guys then. Peace!